when the time comes to think about the components of a successful thought leadership or a communications campaign, there's five things I like to focus on. The first one is strategic intent, and what that is not some sort of vague strategy about some sort of wish list of what you want to do. Strategic intent focuses on what is the problem or what is the situation now that you want to change. Okay, so what is it that isn't right that you're hoping that the communications or the thought leadership can make better? And usually, if you're a startup, it's quite simple. The problem is that nobody knows me, right? Or nobody knows us, and we have to get out there. So, but it could be different things. It could be reputational things. It could be visibility in a specific market. It could be perceptions. Whatever it is, figure out what is. I wouldn't say always a problem, but figure out what's not quite right. Okay. And that's what you want to change. The next thing is the objective, and the objective has to be formulated as, what does success look like? So we know what we want to change. What does it look like when we've changed it? Okay. And what does that mean in terms of the organization, in terms of the product, and in terms of the communications themselves? What have we, effectively done? So you're doing sort of a future thinking. You're setting up a North Star for yourself. Then you have to think about audiences and stakeholders. And I separate those two. So for me, an audience is a direct recipient of a communication or direct recipient of a thought leadership campaign. Could it be potential customers, partners, clients, maybe your ecosystem or but people you're directly addressing. The general public could be under certain circumstances, but people you want to say this message is for you, and the stakeholders are kind of secondary ones that also come in. Sometimes I think it could be regulators, could be the press, might be secondary, could be also primary depending on your situation. That could competitors could be secondary, could be stakeholders. Also, you're talking about ambassadors and champions for who can carry your message for you. And to me, an ambassador is somebody who really directly works for you or with you to carry the message. And a champion is winning people, influencers, or winning people to say nice things about you because they think you're cool, right? So those are the audiences and stakeholders you want to think about. And then you really want to hone in on key messages, and that's the large part of what I do, is trying to figure out per audience and per stakeholder, what are the messages you're trying to give them. These will be potentially different per audience or per stakeholder, but they should never be exclusive. Never ever have a message for one group that you don't want the other group to know.
Yes, that seems obvious when you say it like this, but I can imagine that you have seen things happening in your career.
It's very bad. It's just very dangerous, and you can't enforce it. So that's it. So, but that making this exercise starts to it's harder than it sounds.
Yes.
To be honest. And then you want to you think about your campaigns, how you're going to get this message out, and it's a comms campaign, thought leadership campaign, and here too you want to, I think for each campaign you want to do subsets. You want to do what's your strategic intent, who the audience is, etc., and you break it down like that, if that makes any sense.